as a country, South Africa has the largest HIV pandemic and ART program, that is antiretroviral therapy program, in the world. Now, in 2019, we had just about 4.7 million people living in South Africa that were on antiretrovirals or ARVs, right? And once again, that is the largest in the whole world, right? So the Department of Health also says almost 2,000 adolescent girls and young women are infected with HIV every week in South Africa. Now, okay, you can see the nature of the animal that we are trying to fight with here. Now, this becomes a real priority because the particular age group that we are looking at when we're saying almost 2,000 is adolescent girls and young women aged 15 to 24 years of age. And I know that in either some of us are within that age group, or we have someone that we are close to that is in that age group. Now, aside from the information that we've been given and the problem still persists. So now the government has, as well as organizations like TB HIV Care, we have now looked at other strategies of how can we decrease these numbers. Now, previously, if you look at the history of HIV, when HIV started, what we did was say, wow, what are we gonna do? Because people are dying and nothing really happened. At some point, what we did was look at what is called the CD4 count for a person. Right? Now, the CD4 cells in the body are responsible for fighting disease. Not just HIV, but they are responsible for fighting disease. Those are the cells in the body that make sure that they identify disease and they produce antibodies that will fight disease. That's basically what amasosholzimba or the CD4 cells do. Any disease. Now, this particular virus is a very smart virus because it kind of pretends or just tricks the body thinking that it's just part of what's going on. But remember, as the CD4 cells start fighting, they are produced in high numbers. That was the biggest mistake that we did when we looked at the treatment for HIV, because we looked at the CD4 count as in how many cells are fighting the disease. Now, as HIV comes, the body produces so many cells, and then the HIV virus has a lot of place to hide, or because it hides in the CD4 cells. So we waited for the person to say, now I have under 200, I have under 350 CD4 cells per liter before we actually started giving antiretrovirals, right? Number two, the second mistake was not remembering that ARVs are lifelong. When you start ARVs, it's a lifetime treatment, you never stop. And when we started giving ARVs, we gave different ARVs in different tablets. So you had to take 5 or 6, 8 tablets sometimes per day, which provides what we call treatment fatigue. A person that is on chronic treatment will know it's not easy to take a tablet every day. Even if it's one, it sometimes gets very exhausting. But now this was worse with us taking different tablets at different times of a day and many different tablets. So that was our second problem, which still made us to continue in an upward scale in terms of HIV infections. The other thing that happened was that we were very slow in seeing what needs to be done. We moved from CD4 counts of 350, we went to 500, we went to all sorts of ups and downs in terms of determining when a person should start antiretrovirals. While we were doing that, new infections kept rising, right? And then we also had a problem with training. People were not trained. In the beginning, only doctors could start people on ARVs, which proved to be another challenge. There are so few doctors and so many people. The next thing that happened was when we started rolling out the initiation of PrEP to nurses and involving other stakeholders, we then forgot how or where is the HIV coming from and who is infected who. That's how we eventually ended up at this stage where we are. There's one ARV tablet that is taken per day by a person. We are looking at ARVs and HIV holistically, and we are looking at how do we prevent it. Now, the latest on HIV prevention, then we start seeing things like PrEP, which is one of our biggest things in the program. We started looking at something called U equals U. We continue looking at condom use. We look at STI, and then we look at GBV. Right. I'm sure most of us are familiar with our preparation with this. I'm going to put these together. PrEP, and ARVs. Okay. Anyone has a clue what each of these means? Anybody? At least anyone. You can just give me one if you do. PrEP, and ARVs. This is another way we write ARVs. Anybody home? PrEP, ARVs. Or any of the terms. Any of the terms that I've got. Anybody have a clue? GBV. What is GBV? SNPS should know about GBV. They are the responders. One of the primary responders for GBV. STI. What is STI?
Sexually transmitted infection.
That's what it is. Okay? So it's a sexually transmitted infection, gender-based violence, and femicide. So it's usually GBF now, gender-based violence and femicide. Right? You are one of the primary responders there, colleagues. It's imperative that you are well informed here. But also you need to have this because part of GBVF has bad results in terms of HIV. Right? Usually we get people that will violate another person and actually end up infecting that person with HIV in a lot of instances. But anyway, let's go back. PrEP. PrEP means pre-exposure prophylaxis. Okay? Pre means before, exposure before you are exposed, before you come into contact. Prophylaxis